Hello and welcome to this, the second of our midweek memos. Well, it's now getting into my second week here at Emmanuel Church Croydon, and I've had a fantastic week getting to know a good number of people, new people who I hadn't yet met. And one of the features of this week particularly has been the amazing volume of communication that's come my way about amazing and significant ministries that are happening in the life of this church that I guess are less visible, and particularly less visible in the current circumstances. So, for example, this morning I had Carol Petley come in to speak to me about the amazing ministry of Waggy Tales. Eileen Parsons dropped in the other day and gave me a whole folder describing the work amongst seniors. A most amazing breadth of ministry going on there. And then just the other day I got an email from a group who've really been thinking deeply about how we take our responsibility for creation care seriously as a church. And there have been many other things besides. Of course, what I've also benefited from greatly is after I expressed my particular penchant for a certain type of chocolate bar on Sunday, there have been some generous offers of double-deckers in my direction. And I want to assure you that any such offer will be very gladly accepted. Meanwhile, however, I hope that you have had a chance to join us last weekend on Sunday and to listen to that first sermon as we looked at Mark's Gospel. We shared together on that occasion how Mark really points the spotlight in terms of the Christian faith on the person of the Lord Jesus. Someone once came up with a phrase which I've often heard repeated, which I think summarizes it so well. Christianity is Christ. That's it, isn't it? Christianity is Christ. And on Sunday, I also asked you and all of us really, in light of that, two questions, simple questions really. Have you grasped that it's all about Jesus, firstly? Have you grasped that it's all about Jesus? And I realize that's a pretty big claim. It may not be obvious. Perhaps you have got your own questions about that. If that's where you are, let me say, why don't you sign up to our Christianity Explored course? That's going to be starting next Thursday. It'll be a great opportunity to explore those questions. The second question I ask is, are you pointing to the Lord Jesus? Do you remember how John the Baptist, a high-profile speaker though he was, pointed away from himself to his Lord? It's a challenge, isn't it? I recall an occasion when I was at a dinner party and I was sitting next to a friend who wasn't a Christian, and I got talking to her about how great community at church is. And she said, yeah, I know all about it, actually. We've got a great community down the Canoe Club. And basically, because of the way I started the conversation, that was the end of the road. And since then, I've been trying to think, how can I make sure that when I'm speaking to others, it's the Lord Jesus that I speak about, because he is the big difference. Now, there's a few more things that I'd love to share with you on this occasion and communicate with you. The first thing I'd like to say is I want to encourage you, if you'd like, to come and join us in person on a Sunday. I know the arrangements have changed variously during the pandemic, but just to be absolutely clear, we're open for business here on a Sunday. It's a COVID-secure location. It's therefore a safe place to come to. There's a sign-up link in the emails that goes out to you. If that's tricky for you, don't hesitate to just get directly in touch with the office. And just in case you're worried about capacity, we've got space for 20 bubbles here in the church building on a Sunday morning, each with up to 4 people in the bubble. The second thing I want to speak about is small groups. I mentioned this last week. Every church and every Christian should grow. And I'm a firm believer that particularly in a big church like this one, the way to grow bigger is to grow smaller. And the way to grow deeper in our personal walk is also to grow smaller. And what I mean by that is that close and deep personal Christian relationships are the way forward for us all, particularly during this time of the pandemic. And so I want to encourage you, if you're in a small group, do get in touch with your leaders and feedback any ideas you might have as we're thinking about how we can really ensure that those take shape and thrive during the pandemic. Finally, I want to echo Ben's great excitement at our new appointment it's fantastic to have Sheridan Smith join us as our children's worker, and we really look forward to having him on the staff team as well as benefiting from his ministry. In the meantime, I look forward to seeing you, perhaps even in person, this Sunday morning or at Discipleship Explored on Sunday evening. Thank you for listening.